One very handy type of macro that you can create in Microsoft Word is a toggle macro. Now what a toggle macro is going to do is if something is set to be on, for example you've checked a checkbox, then clicking and running the macro will turn it off. But if it was off, then it'll turn on. Now the slow way of doing these is to actually use all sorts of if statements and things like that, which are a little bit more complex for people who are just starting out with macros. But it's possible to create a toggle macro with just one line of code, and it's really simple to do. So let's have a look at one at work. I have one here that displays and hides the navigation bar, so I just need to click to run this macro and the navigation bar appears. If I click again, it's hidden. And this is going to work wherever I happen to be in Microsoft Word, so that saves me from having to go to the View menu, find the navigation pane option and click to check it and then go back to whatever else it was that I was doing. So let's see how we'd create a option like this, a toggle macro, but this one that I'm going to do is going to show carriage returns in the document, just carriage returns. So that's accessible not through these menus, but through the options menu. So to start off with, we're going to the developer tab. Now if you don't have the developer tab visible, you're going to need to make it visible to start off with. So what you'll do is you'll go to File and then down here to Options. You'll go to Customize Ribbon, and over here on the right hand side of the screen in this box you're going to look down till you find Developer, and the checkbox is going to be disabled for you, so you're just going to need to check to enable it and click OK, and then the Developer tab will appear on the ribbon. So we're going there to the Developer tab and we're going to click here on Record Macro, and this macro is going to be Show Hide Carriage Returns. Now the rule with macro names, or the simplest part of the rule with macro names, is make sure you don't start it with a number, so use a letter of the alphabet and don't use any spaces. So camel case works really well. We're going to store this macro in normal.dotm. That's your document template, and it's going to mean that your macro will be accessible to all your new documents in future. We'll just click OK. Now you'll see that the mouse pointer has a little cassette icon underneath it to the right. That means that we're recording, so we need to be really super careful about what we do. So we're going up here to File again, we're going down to Options again, and this time we're going to Display, because this is the place where we can turn on or off the visibility of paragraph marks or carriage returns. That's a different name for the same thing. So I'm going to enable this because it was disabled, and I'm just going to click OK. Now I'm still recording, so what I want to do is to stop at this point. So in the Developer tab, we're just going straight up here to stop recording. So we now have a macro that turns visibility of these paragraph markers or carriage returns on. At the moment it's not a toggle, so let's go and make it a toggle. We'll go to View and we'll go to Macros, and we're going to find the macro that we just created. So it's going to be here in your list. And here's mine, Show Hide Carriage Return. So I'm going across here to Edit. So here is the macro in my Visual Basic for applications. And it reads active window show paragraphs equals true. In other words, the little checkbox for showing paragraph marks, set it to true. Now to make this into a toggle, what we're going to do is to put a little test in here. So I'm just going to select all of this text here to the immediate left of the equal sign, and I'm going to copy it. I'm just pressing Control C. I'm going to remove the text that is to the right of the equal sign. I'm going to type the word not and then a set of curly brackets. And between the curly brackets, I'm going to paste in the text that I copied from over here. Now, as soon as I press Enter or press the carriage return, you'll see that the word not becomes capitalized. That just tells me that Microsoft Word has understood what I've said. So what this says now is active window view show paragraphs, make it whatever it isn't right now. So if it was true, it'll become false. If it was false, it will become true. That's how toggles work. I have one here for showing the document map, the navigation bar on the screen. Exactly the same sort of thing. Active window document map equals not active window document map. That's as simple as a toggle macro is. I'm going to click Save to save this. Let's go back to the macros and let's go back to our macro. When I run it, it just turns off visibility of the carriage returns or the paragraph marks. Now, it would be really handy if we had this somewhere where we could actually use it. So we're going to add it to the quick access toolbar. Here's mine for viewing and hiding navigation. I'm going to click on the down pointing arrow here. We'll go to more commands. Over here, we're going to click for macros because we want to be able to see our macros. And what we'll do is go and locate the macro that we just recorded. Here it is, this one, show hide carriage returns. I'm just going to add it over here. Now at this point, I can click on it and click modify so I can change what its name is. So this can be English. I'm going to make this show hide paragraph marks. Okay, and then I can choose an icon for it. I think I'll just call it this and click OK. And then OK again. So this is the icon I chose. This is its new name. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the actual macro name. When I click it, it turns it on. When I click it again, it turns it off. So toggle macros, whenever something is driven by a checkbox that you select or deselect, then you could create that as a toggle macro. It just makes life super easy, and little macros like this can save you a whole lot of time. And they're also a really good introduction to macros. If you can create your own toggle macros, you're going to get familiar with getting in and out of the developer tab. You're going to be used to opening and closing Visual Basic and making small edits to a macro. So it's a great way to start, and it's a great way to build some functionality into your version of Word. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results every time, then you'll love my other YouTube videos. So give this video a thumbs up and click to subscribe to the channel. And on the screen now, you'll see a video that I've handpicked for you to watch next.